Have you ever wondered why some days squirrels are everywhere on campus and other days it seems like they've completely disappeared? Well, we wanted answers, so we decided to investigate this. Many environmental factors can often affect the behavior of animals. Specifically, weather and climate can affect the population dynamics of certain animals, which has interested many ecologists according to Knapp. As a result, we wanted to find out the effect that rain and cloud cover have on the presence of squirrels on Georgia Tech's campus. By examining how short-term weather changes can affect animal behavior, we can better predict how wildlife will respond to environmental shifts. This is especially important today as rapid climate changes within the world are creating more extreme weather conditions that can affect animal presence and behavior. We hypothesized that rain and cloud cover do affect the presence of squirrels, which we investigated through a 10-week experiment. We performed our squirrel observation at the same location, time, and day every week for 10 weeks in total. The sites that my partner and I performed our experiment are displayed on the screen. During the observation period, we recorded the presence of a focal squirrel, the cloud cover, and the presence of rain. The cloud cover was divided into 5 categories, including mostly sunny, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, overcast, and none. We then compiled the data of our whole class and used this in our experiment. We used R to determine the results of our experiment. First, we determined that there is not a significant difference between the different cloud cover categories on the presence of squirrels according to a chi-square test. The average squirrel presence for mostly cloudy was 38%, 32% for mostly sunny, 44% for none, 34% for overcast, and 41% for partly cloudy, showing no significant difference across the different cloud cover categories. This shows how different cloud covers do not affect the presence of squirrels on Georgia Tech's campus.
Secondly, we found that there is a significant impact on squirrel presence given that it's raining according to a chi-squared test. Out of the counts for having seen a squirrel or the teal color on the legend, there were more instances of seeing a squirrel when it wasn't raining, about 282 observations, than seeing a squirrel when it was raining, only 6 observations. This tells us that precipitation affects squirrel presence on Georgia Tech's campus. Analyzing animal behavior in the environment is important to help us learn more about the natural world, promote conservation efforts, and to understand ecosystem services. Knowing more about animal behavior gives us insights into how animals interact with each other in their environment, allowing us to understand fundamental biological and ecological processes. Research shows that incorporating animal behavior into conservation planning helps guide population monitoring, habitat management, and strategies for supporting threatened species. Finally, animals provide fundamental ecosystem services, like seed dispersal for squirrels, to the ecosystem. Recent work highlights that these services often depend directly on behavior and are vulnerable to environmental change. With climate change varying weather patterns, it is increasingly important to understand weather-related behavior and how these interactions could evolve and impact the local ecosystem. Our project aligns with several United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that highlight the importance of ecological understanding in sustainable campus environments. SDG 15, Life on Land, focuses on protecting biodiversity and supporting healthy terrestrial ecosystems. By studying how weather patterns influence squirrel behavior, we gain insight into how wildlife may respond to environmental changes, which is essential for effective habitat management and conservation. SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, emphasizes creating green, resilient urban spaces. Georgia Tech's commitment to green infrastructure such as campus green spaces and the Candida building provides habitat for wildlife like squirrels, showing how sustainable design supports urban biodiversity. Finally, SDG 13, Climate Action, highlights the need to understand and respond to climate-driven shifts in ecosystems. As extreme weather events become more common, wildlife behavior will shift in ways that affect ecological balance. Our findings help illustrate how even small species respond to those shifts, underscoring the importance of long-term climate awareness and action.